The movie begins with a broke man sitting in his house, listening to the radio. Meanwhile, his wealthy friend, lounging in a mansion, complains that even luxurious meals no longer bring him joy. They call each other and decide to meet up. After reconnecting, they head out to grab some food together. Next, an old man is walking when a kid calls him a thief. Angered, the old man throws a stone at the kid, then returns home to tell his wife how people are trolling him for something he didn't do. Meanwhile, their daughter emerges from her room and asks if her parents are still arguing about the false corruption charges. Her father confirms they are and tells her to sit down. They talk for a while, and she reveals she dropped out of college because of his corruption scandal. He yells and insists he didn't steal 50 million. The media got the wrong guy. At a cafe, two friends are eating and chatting when a girl stares at one of them. He approaches her and asks why she came. She explains she just wanted to see him since he hasn't answered her calls. He replies, "I can't do this right now. I'll call you later." That night, the daughter asks her parents for money, but they say they have none. Angered, she shouts and storms out. Later, the man and his older brother are talking. The brother teasingly asks, "When will you stop asking me for money?" The man smiles and says he doesn't know. His older brother then takes him to a garage and announces, "You're now the owner of this garage." The man thanks him profusely, calls his friends over to show them his new garage, and they all envy having such a rich brother. At lunch, the family invites the man because they believe he can clear their name. After he eats, as he leaves, he sees a photo of their daughter and instantly falls in love. That night, the friends go to a club and have fun. The daughter is there too. Confidently, he approaches her. They flirt, and she seems receptive. He asks if he can see her again at another club. She says maybe. As they leave the first club, he notices his ex staring at them. At the next club, his friends wonder if she'll join, but she arrives, and they all dance and have fun. Later, he accompanies her home and almost kisses her, but she says another time, then helps her climb over the wall into her yard. The next morning at the garage, the two friends are chatting when the man notices his ex standing outside. Seeing her fills him with disgust. Moments later, she calls to ask if he got home safely. He says yes, clearly irritated by her sudden appearance. She apologizes and quietly leaves. Later at a cafe, the man is enjoying his time with another girl when the mystery woman shows up again. Frustrated, he confronts her. "What do you want from me?" "I just wanted to tell you something," she replies. "I don't care. I'm busy. My brother just handed me the garage," he snaps. "Oh, that's so nice for your life," she says sarcastically. "I said I'm too busy," he repeats sharply. Then, without warning, she drops the bombshell. "I'm pregnant." Stunned, he explodes. "That's not my child. Stop lying to me," and storms off, muttering incoherently. Shortly afterward, the family meets him again at their home. They ask about his real estate project, and he proudly tells them it's nearly complete. The young man asks bluntly, "Did you really steal 50 million?" Hurt, the old man explains he was in the wrong place at the wrong time and served 2 years in prison for nothing. The wealthy friend says, "I believe you," and immediately asks about their daughter. Learning he's unmarried, he grins and promises to help them, bringing tears of relief to their eyes. That night, he and his friends head back to the club, where the girl, the daughter, is there again. They enjoy themselves on the dance floor, laughing and dancing together. Afterward, he walks her home and says goodnight with a smile. Meanwhile, at her house, the pregnant ex is in tears. Overwhelmed, she calls his friend and tells him everything, how she revealed the pregnancy and how he dismissed her, saying he didn't care and refused to believe the baby was his. Hurt and heartbroken, she breaks down. Her friends, furious on her behalf, gather around her and decide it's time to confront him face to face. Later, the family invited the man over for lunch. When he arrived, he was stunned to see their daughter. His heart skipped a beat because he was deeply in love with her. He couldn't stop staring. She smiled and said hi, then quickly walked away. During the meal, he assured the family everything will be sorted out soon. They thanked him warmly. Then he added, "There's one more thing I wanted to tell you." Curious, they asked, "What is it?" With a nervous smile, he said, "I think I like your daughter." Without hesitation, the mother responded, "Don't even worry, you will marry my daughter." He was overjoyed to hear that, his face lighting up with happiness. Later that night, after another fun evening at the club, he once again helped her climb over the fence to sneak back into her house. But as soon as she stepped inside, she was met by her waiting family. They yelled at her, furious about her late nights. Then, to her shock, they told her they had already chosen a husband for her. Stunned, she exclaimed, "What? I can't deal with this right now. I'll see you tomorrow," and rushed to her room. Meanwhile, the pregnant girl sat quietly in her bedroom, tears in her eyes. Her rebellious sister walked in and lit a cigarette, letting the smoke drift into the air. After a moment of silence, she blurted out, "I'm pregnant." Her sister froze, shocked. "What? How? Who's the father? Where is he? He wants nothing to do with it," she replied. "He told me to get an abortion." Anger flashed across her sister's face. Without another word, she walked out, furious, on a mission to find him. The next morning, her parents woke her up abruptly, urging her to get dressed quickly. She refused, saying, "No, I'll talk to him myself." Determined, she went out to find him. When she approached him, she asked, "Who are you?" "I'm a local here. I own some real estate nearby," he replied. Then he confessed, "I've loved you since the moment I saw you." She laughed and said, "Stop, I'm in love with another man," before turning and walking away. He called after her, "I love you, please." She said nothing and went inside. Meanwhile, the rebellious sister was pressing his friends, asking where he was. They told her and invited him out for a drink. That night, the girl called her boyfriend urgently. "Come meet my family. I told them I have a boyfriend, and now they want to meet you." He replied, "Okay, I'll come." They were drinking at the bar when the man asked, "Who is that girl?" His friend replied, "That's your ex's sister." The girl then stepped forward, glaring at him. "If anything happens to my sister," she warned, "I swear I'll kill you." She insulted him and stormed off. Later that night, the man arrived at the girl's house, drunk, to meet her parents. She was nervous, especially when he started talking nonsense. To cover things up, she quickly said, "We've been together for 2 years," lying to her parents. Her father looked at the man and asked, "So, when are you planning to get married?" The man burst out laughing. "Marriage? I hate marriage. I don't even know her that well. It's been like 2 months." Furious, the father shouted, "Get out of my house!" But the man, too drunk to care, stood up and slurred, "Wait a second. Aren't you that guy who stole 50 million? That was the last straw." The father grabbed a stick and tried to hit him, but the man stumbled out of the house. Still drunk, he got in his car, drove off, and crashed into another vehicle. He was rushed to the hospital. At the hospital, his friends gathered around his bed, scolding him. "What were you thinking? Driving drunk?" Then his older brother walked in, furious. "When are you all going to stop drinking?" The room went silent. Everyone hung their heads in shame. His brother walked over and said gently, "The doctor said you'll be okay. I'm going to get you something to eat," then quietly left the room. In the morning, the daughter tearfully apologized to her father, saying, "Please forgive me." Afterward, she went to the hospital to check on the man. Coincidentally, his ex also came to visit him. When the girl saw her, she was confused. His friend told her, "That's his ex's sister," but she didn't believe him. So she pulled the girl outside and asked, "Who are you to him?" The ex replied, "I'm his ex and I'm pregnant." Shocked, the daughter walked away in silence. Later that night, as she was getting into her house, she saw the man waiting for her. He seemed kind, and she appeared interested. "Let's talk outside," she said. They chatted for a while and exchanged phone numbers. The next day, they went on a date and had a great time. Their connection grew quickly, and they kept seeing each other again and again. A week later, the ex-boyfriend showed up and followed her. He said, "I'm really sorry for everything. I didn't mean to embarrass you in front of your parents." She responded calmly, "It's okay, but we can't be together. I have someone else now." Crushed by her words, he stood in silence. She then said goodbye and walked away. Later that evening, the girl and her new boyfriend sat down with her parents. After a heartfelt talk, he asked her, "Will you marry me?" With a smile, she said, "Yes." Her family cheered and broke into joyful dancing. The next morning, the pregnant girl was walking with the man's friend. He gently told her, "I don't think he's coming back to you. He's already in love with someone else." She replied quietly, "I know," and handed him a letter. "Please give this to him for me." Later, we see a news station broadcasting a live interview. The old man, once falsely accused, was finally clearing his name. Meanwhile, the boys were sitting nearby watching, but the man couldn't stop thinking about the girl. He kept calling her, but she wouldn't answer. Obsessed, he came up with a disturbing plan to kidnap her. He followed through, and after kidnapping her, he confronted her angrily. "Who is this new guy? Do you really love him?" She stared at him and said coldly, "That's none of your business." He shouted, "If I ever find out who he is, I'll kill him." Realizing how far he'd gone, he released her the next day. Later, the boys were gathered, talking seriously. One of them said, "We really need to change and do better." They all agreed and got to work, taking the garage business seriously for the first time. While they were working, the man's brother came by to check on him and was surprised to see real progress. Just then, the man got a phone call from his girlfriend. "Let's go eat," she said. "Okay," he replied, then turned to his brother and said, "I want you to meet my girlfriend." His brother agreed. They arrived at the meeting spot, and as the older brother reached out to greet the girl, the younger brother froze in disbelief. He stood there, stunned. It was her. The woman his brother introduced as his girlfriend was the same girl he loved. He called his younger brother and told him to get in the car. As they drove, he spoke excitedly about how he was going to marry his girlfriend. When the girl got into the car and saw the younger brother sitting there, she was shocked. It was her ex. She had no idea the two men were brothers. The older brother stepped out of the car for a moment to grab something he had forgotten. Meanwhile, suddenly, they were being chased by the scary girl, his ex's sister, and her gang. They were angry because the pregnant girl hadn't been answering her phone and was now missing. Inside the car, the girl and her ex both broke down in tears. He looked at her and pleaded, "Please, don't ever tell my brother about us." Still crying, she nodded and said, "I promise." He then quietly got out of the car. Not long after, he got a frantic call from his friends. "Please come pick us up. We're in trouble. Your ex's sister is after us because your ex is missing." He rushed over and helped them escape just in time. Once they were far enough away, they pulled over to catch their breath and started thinking about where the pregnant girl could be. Their first thought was the church, so they went to check, but she wasn't there. Then it hit them. She might be on her way to get an abortion. Meanwhile, her sister, furious and desperate, stormed into the older brother's house ready to confront him. The older brother was at home when the angry sister barged in and began yelling and blaming him, thinking he had something to do with her sister's disappearance. She was furious, demanding answers and refusing to leave, until the younger brother finally arrived. Meanwhile, the boys had been searching all over town, desperate to find the pregnant girl. After hours of looking, they finally spotted her just outside a clinic. He ran to her and asked anxiously, "Did you go through with it?" With tears in her eyes, she shook her head. "I was just about to." He broke into a relieved smile. "I'm so glad you didn't. I'm really sorry for everything. I want us to raise this child together, and I want to marry you." She was overwhelmed with joy, nodding as she hugged him tightly. They picked her up and all went to the older brother's house. There, they shared the whole story. The two brothers finally shook hands, putting the past behind them. Everything was finally falling into place. In the final scene, the man gets a phone call. His wife is about to give birth. He rushes to the hospital, filled with joy, ready to start a new chapter of his life, with his family by his side.